Hi guys, welcome again to Math 115. So this video is about just navigating our Lamaku site. I know I already had one of these in the orientation, but this one's just slightly more detail, and then I'll have separate videos explaining some of the more particular components of our class. So anyways, to start, when you first get into Lamaku, you should have like a home page where you have all your different courses. Ours is 115. So you click on that thing, takes you to this home page. And if you ever want to navigate back to this page, just go to the top bar at the this top little link at the top where it says Math 115 dash blah blah blah, and then it'll have your CRN. I have two different CRNs, but they're basically the same for the asynchronous classes. Okay, so once you're here, you're gonna notice four different modules, big modules. The first one is homework and textbook. This is going to take you to the textbook where you can read, where you can submit your homework, and you can also watch some of the other media. They have like PowerPoints, and I'll go over that in another separate video. Orientation syllabus, that's, what you expect it to be. It's got the syllabus, got the orientation. We'll go over the entire syllabus in a separate video. And then later on in the semester, we're going to have this tool, Google Sheet Stats, which since I'm not going to talk too much about this in another video, I'll talk about it right now. So let's go into it right now. Click on Google Sheet Stats, it's going to take you to this page, and you click on this link here, which directs you to make your own copy. Then you only have to do this once. Once you make a copy, I mean, you could technically make it as many times as you want, but you only really have to do it once. Once you have a copy, this is now saved into your own Google Sheets. So if you ever want to access it again, you can just go to Google and then, click on the nine dots here, go to Sheets, and then that's going to be one of the items, copy of Google Sheet stats. That's what copy I just made. Now you can rename it whatever you want. You can add your name to it if you'd like. And if you want to, this is something I do is I just put a little star bookmarker so that I can easily go back to this page whenever I need to access it. Now this tool is something that we'll use a little bit later in the semester, but it's got a bunch of different functions. Like here, I'll show you just this first page. If I enter a bunch of numbers, it does an automatic calculation for me, calculates the mean, median, the mode or modes, and a bunch of other statistics, variance, sample, standard deviation, etc. Don't worry if you don't know what all this stuff is, because this is part of the course. You'll learn about what all that means. And they got a bunch of other different functions on the bottom here. And there's a little. If you click on these lines down here, it's got a little table of contents for the different functions that you can use. Okay. All right, coming back to our main Lamaku page. So here I am in that Google Sheet Stats side page, but I want to get back to my home. So I'm just going to click on that top here. Here I am back in home. And oh, I forgot to mention about announcements right here at the top. You should also be getting these announcements via email. So if you don't see email announcements, then email me to let me know. Like if you notice there's an announcement here on this page in the front, but you didn't get an email, then email me right away and we'll figure out how to make sure that you do get those. I think there's a way to opt out, that's why, but I want you to stay opted in to make sure that you're receiving these communications. Okay, so far, what are we talking about? We talked about the homepage, right? You got homework, orientation, Google Sheet stats, and then the main thing that you'll need for navigating this course is the weekly modules. So click on this weekly modules, and then it's going to take you to all the weeks that we have. Right now, we're at the beginning of the course, so there's only week one available. But as we progress, each week, a new week is going to become available on Monday. So on Monday, you see the next week. That's the one that you should be working on for that week. Everything should be turned in by Sunday. So you have a bunch of things due. Everything's typically due the Sunday by midnight, and then next week starts on Monday. Okay, so let's take a look. What does a typical week look like? Click on that, and at the very top, you'll see the checklist for all the things that should be done by the end of the week. And some things, once in a while, we have things that are due on other days. Like this week, our Padlet is due on Friday. Actually, I take that back. I said most things are due Sunday, but for your discussion posts, you should actually finish those by Friday. That gives your classmates some time to respond to you by Sunday. So that's the only thing that's due on a different day. Okay, so it's got things to do, right? Watch the videos. Like this week, because it's the first week, you gotta register for your MyLab Math, which is Pearson textbook, and then make sure you can access the homework. You're gonna post your Padlet intro this week to say hi to everybody, and then comment on two other classmates, and then you're gonna submit your classwork and your homework. I'm going to make separate videos going over these two things. Classwork and homework are two distinct things. I mean, I know it's kind of like both homework because it's asynchronous, right? But this classwork portion is kind of to mimic what it would be like if we were meeting in an in-person class. So you're going to be watching a video, you're going to be writing down the notes or copying down the answers, and then that's going to be like as if you had attended the class. And then homework is once you've done the classwork, you've done that video and everything, then you're going to submit the online homework. And that homework is to MyLab Math. MyLab Math is the what do you call it? The product that Pearson makes. Pearson is the publisher. Okay, if you look, you'll see these blue tabs each week, and if you click on them, see how it says click to open, then it's going to open up whatever things need to be done on day one or day two, whatever. Right now, this page is pretty much blank because right now I'm filming this very video that I'm going to post. So the other ones will be posted shortly after that. Okay, day two is already available though. I have those videos and the notes. So what you can do is click on the notes and it's going to allow you to make your own copy, similar to the Google Sheets. And since it's your own copy, that's going to mean that you can type in your own um, work. But I'm kind of stepping on my own toes because I'm going to talk about classwork in the next video. So I'll do that later. Okay, so yeah, that's typical day. Typical days, you have the notes, you have the videos to go along with it, and then you do both of those things, you're golden. This week, you also have the Padlet. Click on the link to open that up. After this week, this is week one. So because it's week one, our Padlet sort of takes the place of our discussion. But from week two onward, we have a discussion where you'll respond to a question or a video that I post, and then you'll answer it, and then you'll also comment on your classmates. You can submit your classwork using this link right here. Homework here can also be accessed through this button. A lot of these links are kind of redundant, like classwork. You can use this link here to access the classwork, but you could also access it from the assignments tab up top. Homework, you can access it here by clicking that link. I think the most convenient thing to me is to just stay within this week module. But if you wanted to, you could also access the same homework from this button here. All right, guys, that pretty much takes care of the main navigation. There's some superfluous or extra tabs in the top, but most of those you don't really need. Oh, I did forget one thing. I should tell you one more thing as grades. If you want to track your progress, click on the grades, and that will take you to the gradebook where it shows how you're doing in the course. Um, not I'm gonna try to update things maybe every other week or so. So, like if you notice there's a classwork that you did, but you don't have the points yet, that's just because I haven't gotten around to recording it quite yet. So don't worry, that's gonna be filled in as you do it. And then homework similar thing. Every couple weeks or so, I'm gonna update your homework score. Right now, this is saying homework 1 through 16, but it's actually gonna be like probably every 2 to 3 weeks, and I'll update your homework score. This homework score comes from your MyLab Math online homework score, which is through the Pearson website. And then of course exams, typical typical thing. You notice the exam review because exam review is gonna count towards your exam score. But that stuff will be more explained more in detail as they come along. There's a project for the class. Again, we'll talk about that more later in the semester. This is not going to come up for a while. That's more in like the third quarter of the semester. Okay, I think that's pretty much it, guys. So I'm going to stop the video now, and I'll see you in the next one where we'll talk about classwork and then another one about homework.